Hamilton, Ontario. My name is Pierce Lang, and I am joined by the incomparable League 1 Canada all-time leading scorer, Jade Kovacevic. Jade, what are you expecting here today?
It's going to be some fierce competition. We're coming up with some absolute powerhouses from Quebec and here in Ontario, and we're going to see a lot of preparation, a lot of organization, and some great football on the pitch.
I'm really excited to see a couple players here from CS Mont-Royal Outremont, especially Eva Bouti, who will be playing in the middle. She's a fantastic player, very creative. Her coach described her as the essence of the beautiful game. She plays in a manner that she covers a lot of space. She dances around in the middle, moves the ball quickly, and I think she's going to be the real focal point for the match today. Anyone in your mind that's going to be someone to keep an eye on?
Yeah, I heard a little bit about Anais Ublarari, and she's someone we got to look out for, who's very fast, going to be dominant in the attack. Somebody that is a part of the Algeria youth women's national team, and somebody I think is going to put some magic on the pitch for us today.
I think on the other side of the pitch, we've got Noelle Henning, who's going to be starting in goal for the NDC. She's been their goalkeeper for most of the season. She's a fiery competitor, an absolute leader on the pitch. She was with Wolfsburg in training ahead of the League 1 Ontario season, and she's going to be someone you're really going to want to keep your eye on. But at this stage, we're going to take a break from what we're doing up here, and we're going to move to an interview with the coaching staff from both sides. So we're going to throw to Mackenzie Barwell, who's got those interviews lined up for you right now.
And we're going.
So we were talking a little bit about a couple of the players who are going to be featuring today. Is there anyone else on NDC you think we should be keeping an eye on today, Jade?
Yeah, you know what? Nothing in particular from player perspective, but from what we're going to see as a group, we have some young players coming into this roster that have played only a handful of games with NDC, as we see some of the more senior players leaving and going off to school. So from that perspective, we're going to see a new face to NDC, and I'm really excited. As a player that's played them this last season, you know, they're organized, they're structured, they are so dynamic through the middle and on the flank. Giving these players the opportunity to come through the program, I think, is going to be pretty special on this stage.
From a formational standpoint, both of these teams play a 4-3-3 generally. What do you expect as far as gameplay from both these sides? Because we kind of know what to expect from the NDC. It's the standard that we see across the board for the Canadian Youth National programs. What's your expectation as far as today's matchup in that sense?
I think it's going to be really important to utilize the fullbacks, getting them to join the attack as much as possible, and getting them to look also inside to potentially switch the pitch. Really important that we have a dynamic midfield. We know that CF Montreal play with typically two at the base and maybe one up top, but we could see that interchange happen, which if you're not on top of it, it could throw you off, right? And that's kind of the trick.
So this CSMRO squad have been together for quite some time. They've got girls on this team who've played with the club for about 14 years. Last year, they featured in the Toyota Canadian Championship, where they came in second place, won the silver medal. Do you really win the silver? It's always a point of contention saying that, I find.
You walk away with the silver medal, we'll say that.
Yeah. And then this NDC squad, you talked about it a second ago. They've lost a lot of players, but it's a program. They're going to be able to interchange with these players And a lot of them have been in training and are ready to step in and really show who they are. I think for me, Tegan Mellenhorst is going to be someone that you're going to want to keep an eye on. She plays in the middle of the pitch. She's very, very good at controlling and dictating the pace of play. And I'm really excited to see how she leads this squad while she's wearing the captain's armband today.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you're going to have a chance to watch these teams step out onto the pitch here and get ready to do the national anthem. So we'll leave you with that, and we'll be ready for action in just a few moments here.
Hey, let's go somewhere beachy.
I don't like sand.
What? What about Cancun sand? It's so soft. Or maybe Caribbean white sand. Ooh, Costa Rican sand. It's got
Dolphins.
Costa Rica, then?
Yeah, Costa Rica.
Good choice.
It was all him.
With over 50 sunny destinations to choose from, we have a flight for that.
For a sport played with our feet, funny how lending a hand takes us further together.
Do we really have any choice at all?
Everyone has a choice, and every choice has a consequence.
Which do you choose?
Life's full of tough choices, isn't it?
How do you choose?
Welcome back, guys. So we were talking a little bit before about the age and experience of the NDC squad here. It's going to be a real interesting dynamic to watch, as we were saying how the CS MRO squad have played together so much. They've got several other players that you're going to want to keep an eye on. Starting up front, for me, Joelle Gosselin. She's played professionally in Europe with Sparta Prague. She's played in Israel and Finland as well. She won an Inter-Provincial championship 2 years ago with AS Blainville. I would also like to reiterate Anaïs Ularbi, who Jade was talking about. I think you're really going to enjoy watching her play in that dynamic where we're going to see her matched up with Tegan Mellenhorst will be one to really keep an eye on. Anybody that you think is really going to step things up here from your perspective that people need to keep their eye on?
Yeah, I think like you mentioned before, Eva Bonatti, the beautiful game, as her coach described her, as somebody who's going to be magical in the middle, and we want to see that flair, that creativity, that threat going in behind to create those opportunities as early as possible. So I'm really excited to see her play. Like as you mentioned, this group has been training together for about 14, 15 years. This coach, the assistant coach, has been working with some of the players since they were 5 or 6 years old. To have that type of connection, connection to the club, the values, we're going to see some pretty diehard players on the pitch, and I think that's going to be really fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this one. Now, Jade, I mentioned off the top there that you're the League One Canada all-time leading scorer. Talk to me about what it means to someone like you to see this next step that we're seeing now for League One Canada, bringing players into the fold that can now go on and play at the CONCACAF Women's Championship like we're going to see next week with the Whitecap side?
Yeah, it's from a player perspective, it's been pretty cool to see all the behind the scenes, all the effort that goes into creating an event like this, and to see where it's grown into from years ago when I joined in 2016. It's incredible for the women's side, and it gives us as players something a little bit additional to strive towards as the season gets to be so long. And knowing that there could be a berth into a CONCACAF Women's Cup, that's pretty cool. So.
Yeah, it's very exciting, especially with what we've got coming down the line with the NSL coming into play next year. And it sounds like we've got the referees telling the players to step into position here. So I know the anticipation's building here, and my heart's throbbing, excited for this. How are you feeling?
I am so excited for this to kick off, and I think the intensity is every player has their blood ready to go. Their adrenaline is rushing, and I think we're just going to see some pretty good battles on the pitch.
Talk to me a little bit about that feeling that you get as a player stepping onto the pitch.
I think the moment before it all happens is hard to emulate and put into words. It's kind of just like picture a horse ready to go off for that sprint. I just feel like I wait for that whistle, and I'm ready to go.
And we are underway here, friends. I hope you're as excited as we are. So I'll give you a quick rundown of who's out on the pitch. We've got starting in goal for the NDC, Noelle Henning. In front of her will be Maya Angus wearing number 62. Number 77, Catherine Ozard. Number 38, Tegan Mellenhorst. Number 58, Jada Shoreborough. Number 72, Victoria Rocky. Number 79, Olivia Chisholm, who's another player you're going to want to keep your eye on. She's only 15 years old. Wearing number 82 will be Emma Retta. 87 is Adriana Bianchin, who's 17 years old. She didn't get a ton of minutes this year, but she's going to be called upon to handle a lot of the offensive duties. And then rounding things out will be number 88, Brianna Gaynor. So here's Noelle Henning with the ball. She was with Wolfsburg ahead of the League 1 Ontario season, trialing, but she's going to be heading off, or at least she's committed to Michigan State University. She should be heading off either in a few weeks, or I don't know if that commitment means that she's going to be playing there next year. Ball into the middle here, and an own goal to start things off for CS Mont-Royal Outremont. So we've got an early lead here in the 3rd minute of play for the NDC. And you can see there on the replay, unfortunate for number 5, Ariane Sagala, to put that ball into her own net. We didn't even have a chance to go through the starting lineup here for CS MRO, which will be shortening it down to MRO for everybody's sake here today. Starting in goal, number 91, Leah Palacio-Tele. In front of her will be number 5. The unfortunate own goal scorer, number 5, is Ariane Sagala. Then it'll be number 13, Mai Allard. 17, Casey Kosher. 19, Rose Hughes. Number 4, Osmad Ayar. Number 8, Sheila He. 9 is Alana Oriente. Number 10, Anais Urabi, who we've mentioned so many times already before. Then it'll be Rose Hughes wearing 19, number 20, Eva Bouti, and number 23, Joël Gosselin. So they're giving the goal to Brianna Gaynor here. That's fantastic for that young lady. She played 18 games this year and got 3 goals. She's 17 years old. So a fantastic output for her to start things off in this Inter-Provincial Championship.
I think when you get into a game of this caliber and you score this early in the game, it just adds that spring in your step, gives you that confidence, gets the team a second to catch our breath and settle into this game. Even though we're 4 minutes in, we're still kind of, you can see the tempo is still very high. CF Montreal is going quite direct, and we're looking for a little bit of settle in possession here.
This is Olivia Chisholm on the ball right now, being closed down by Oriente, and CSMRO are back the other way. And here's an opportunity knocking for Oriente to put a ball back into the middle. A shot in towards goal, and we're all tied up. It's Joël Gosselin getting the goal. Fantastic work by CSMRO to get themselves back into this one early. What do you say? What a response from this side from League 1 Quebec.
Yeah, I think you couldn't ask for anything better at that point. What a cutback, nice slot, and obviously misjudged by the keeper, but NDC definitely has to, take this for what it is and keep the tempo going high.
How much of that comes down to the experience of this squad? We were talking earlier, they've got an average age of 16.3 years old for this NDC squad.
Yeah, staying focused when you're coming off of a high like that after you score, and especially this early in the game, you got to stick to your defensive roles and stick to the game plan as well, because as soon as you get taken advantage of like they did there, they'll capitalize.
Goal kick coming here for NDC, a chance to catch their breath and relieve a little bit of this pressure. MRO have found their feet by the looks of it, and we were talking to head coach Sidi Mohamed Farah before the game, and he said that they're going to want to apply pressure early. You're going to see them well up the pitch here, trying to win the ball back defensively in the other team's end, and expect to see this kind of pressure all game long. This is Mellenhorst. Ball to Olivia Chisholm. They've gone out wide here for Reese Kay. Kay with a little bit of space in front of her. Kay's going to go back to Noelle Henning. One of the reasons that MRO want to play up front is because they don't want to have NDC playing with the ball out of their own end, and they want to stifle any kind of offensive pressure before it gets started. This is Oriente playing the ball up. Ularbi with it in the corner. Ularbi's going to swing it across, and that's deflected out for a corner kick. Oh, it looks like it's just going to be a goal kick rather than. So we're in the 8th minute of play, and we're off to a roaring start here in Hamilton. It's quite warm here today.
Thank gosh for the little breeze that's coming through the field here, for sure. That sun's beaten down. Preparation for this game had to be key for the players. Hydration, good sleep, good food.
This is Mellenhorst, the captain. She tries to slip a ball through, but it's going to be put out quickly there by Sagala. Throw taken quickly. My Angus is going to have that ball go out, and it's going to be an NDC throw-in. Ball collected in the back here by Catherine Ozard. Ozard with plenty of space in front of her, and it looks like MRO are deviating from their initial game plan of pressing high up the pitch as they're laying off a little bit. What are you noticing here about the formation and the separation we're seeing here between these two sides early on?
Yeah, you see CF Montreal kind of sitting back and letting NDC come to them and take that space at the back and sit on the ball a little bit, as long as it's staying in front of them and no lines are being split in between. Whereas NDC looks pretty comfortable right now in possession and not playing anything too direct. They're pretty patient, so it's definitely turning into a bit of a chess match.
How exciting is it for these young ladies, do you think, to be playing at a facility like this? I know it's a big step up for a lot of them to be playing on a nationally televised match like this.
Yeah, as I'm walking out on the field earlier today, just looking up and taking it all in, it's quite the stage, to play on. And what an experience just to be at this tournament and to be competing on this level, on a national level, and being one of the best 4 teams across the nation. So, yeah, that I feel like explains itself.
I think it does too. I think that's a pretty safe call. Larby's going to get it out wide, and the ball will be played up through the middle, and nobody there for MRO as the ball goes all the way back to Henning. She's got it out quickly to Ozard, who again has plenty of real estate available in front of her. Ball goes back for Ozard. And it's interesting for me right now to see this deviation in the game plan here for MRO. Is there was always the possibility they were going to change their plan of attack, and I think that probably has something to do with what they're seeing here from the NDC in a formational perspective. I know they were going to have a team talk. The bus got in last night at about 8:30 for them, so they got a bit of a late settling in here the night before the game. Talk to me a little bit about when you've got that long bus ride, because I think back to that Inter-Provincial All-Star game where you were featured in a All-Star match against the PLSQ at the time, All-Stars. How tough is it to have that long bus ride, and how much recovery time do you need in that sort of a situation before a match, do you feel?
Yeah, I think you're looking at anywhere between a 6 to 8 hour bus ride, and being crammed on the bus is kind of just the package of being a high performance football player. And I think preparation, like I mentioned before, it has to be so important. You're making sure that you're hydrating, you're stretching as much as you can. When you do make a stop, you try to get out and stretch, go for a bit of a walk. And I hope that these girls got a little bit of at least got to see the pitch or got to get some touches on the ball. Probably not, considering it was such a late arrival, but you do with what you can. The situations aren't always the greatest, but we're going to see in the 90 minutes here how they prepared for it.
Ozard plays the ball through the middle, looking for Chisholm. Chisholm's collected it now. Gets it to Mellenhorst. Mellenhorst with it, playing a ball out onto the wing for Gaynor. Gaynor's going to look to swing in across, and she gets it through, and it's pulled out of the air by Leah Palacio-Tele, the goalkeeper wearing the captain's armband. She's another one of these players with so much experience. You alluded to it in the pregame. She's been with this club for 14 years already. That's a long time to be with one club, so there's a lot of familiarity with these squads, or with the CSMRO squad. And while we talk about the keepers, Noelle Henning from Milton, Ontario, she's represented Canada at the 50 U20, or she will be, rather, that representing Canada at the U20s in Colombia coming up in December. So that'll be exciting. Another ball through to Gosselin. Ball goes all the way back to Palacio-Tele. Out on the wing now for Sagala. We had a little wager before the game, and I had all the confidence in the world in this MRO squad because of their unity and how long they've been together. And you were confident in your prediction that NDC were going to come out here, and it looks like NDC are putting players into positions slotting them in with relative ease to fill in for all the young ladies who've gone off to the NCAA and their U Sports squad here.
Yeah, it's nice to see that their identity hasn't shifted very much. You know, it's great when you have players that can step up into these roles and can fill the boots of players that have moved on. And that's what we want to see across the club, right, is that same identity so that it's seamless for players to get those opportunities.
It looks like Osmaid Ayar is down on the pitch right now, getting a little bit of medical attention. I'm not sure what occurred there. Did you see what happened, Jade?
I didn't. It looked like it might have just been a fumbled tackle. Or hopefully it's nothing too serious. She's on her feet, so that's good.
So the whistle blown there by our referee, Sheila Couture. She's got her assistants today are Alicia Carlucci and Megan Opatril. Fourth official is Nava Rajabi. You were saying before you've crossed paths with Rajabi before.
I have, yeah. She's a familiar face in League 1 Ontario.
Yeah, it's exciting to see the opportunities, not just for these players, but the officiating crew as well, because for a lot of them, this will be the biggest game in their careers to date as well. For
sure, yeah. It's good to see that there's more women jumping into these reffing roles, because as women, we want to support the growth of the women's game, right?
Reese Kay closing down her opponent in the corner with a strong challenge, and that ball's going to go out, and it'll be a corner kick here for MRO. From my observations in the matches I watched previous to this one, it looked as though they like to put the ball back post. You can see everyone kind of lining up, no one really on the front post, and it looks like Gonzalez is going to take up a position right in the middle. I'd be watching for Bauti to come flying in with the header. She got the first goal in the League 1 Quebec championship game off of a corner kick, and Henning comes out of her goal to punch that one away.
Ooh.
Gosselin goes for the bicycle kick there.
I love that she tried. You know, sometimes you got to make do with what you're being served, so it's a nice effort.
She's almost like a coach out there for this squad with all the experience that she brings. You can see her directing traffic now from the top of the box as Henning goes out wide onto the wing for Maya Angus. Things have calmed down here a little bit. These teams came out guns blazing in the first 5 minutes, and it seems like they're starting to calm down and settle into this one, no one wanting to give anything up after they've exchanged goals here.
Yeah, early start off to the races for sure for both groups. I think now we're kind of realizing what each team has to offer and seeing how we can best approach to break them down.
Oriente with two players on her, plays the ball back.
Thank you.
This MRO squad with a lot of size in the back, very physical squad. It'll be a great challenge for this NDC team, who I mentioned are an average age of 16.3 years. Exciting opportunity for these young NDC players to get a real challenge here against a very experienced squad. Ball kept in by Angus, played into the middle for Olivia Chisholm. Chisholm with a ton of space goes out wide, gets it right back again. Chisholm looking to play it into the middle. This is Retta. Retta lays it off for Maya Angus. Angus in towards the top of the box. Angus with it on her left foot, swings the ball into the middle. It's Mellenhorst with a shot in towards goal, and a fantastic save by Palacio Tale to keep her squad level here at 1-1. We're into the 19th minute here, friends, and these two teams are really going at it. Love seeing this. Showborough getting into Mellenhorst, and that's going to be offside on Mellenhorst. We're watching the preparation for this match, everything coming together before the game. They were getting the lines painted 2 hours prior. The fans started showing up about 40 minutes ago. The whole production coming together here just as we we're getting ready, and I know I'm excited for all of this, and we've got a full weekend of action. Our next game will be at 8 o'clock. Jade, you'll be here for that one with the color commentary again with Alf de Blasis. That'll be between the Whitecaps women and the Calgary Blizzard. A ball in for Bianchin, and she'll go to ground. I think there's going to be a lot of expectation from Bianchin to break the lines open here and create opportunities up front as she gets herself settled into this game. She was with the U17 national team in the recent CONCACAF championship qualifiers where Canada was in a group with the US and Mexico. Mellenhorst losing the ball in the middle. He plays the ball, or Bouti plays the ball out for an NDC throw. Angus puts the ball in, and it's headed into the middle by Sagala. Chisholm's going to watch this one go out for another NDC throw. Mellenhorst getting it out wide for Angus. Angus gets it through for Jada Shobro. And again, the ball will be out over the touchline for a MRO goal kick. As these two teams continue to feel each other out and get a grasp on what their opponents are going to provide, and it's a big booming kick from Palacio Tele up over half. This is Shelahi. He's still on the ball, getting it to Gozlin. AR played it out wide, and it's as though they're trying to make sure Ularbi gets a touch on the ball every time they push it forward. We mentioned before, she's going to be someone you're going to want to keep your eyes on all day here. Just a little bit too far in front of the intended target there on the quick pass out to the wing. This is Mali Allard to put the ball back into play. Ayar gets it back to Mallard. Noelle Henning giving her team a chance to reset and regroup here as she plays the ball out to Catherine Ozard. This MRO squad are very aggressive, as we mentioned, with the defensive pressure. Looks like they're playing a bit more of a mid-block than we expected here.
Yeah, we see them sitting back, definitely inviting NDC to come and play. NDC is loving shifting the ball from side to side, getting Sia Mont-Royal to work sideline to sideline, hoping that something opens up in the middle of the pitch.
Another throw in coming here for MRO. We've played 24 minutes, friends. 2 goals in that first 5-minute spread, and now things have kind of calmed down a little bit. Shelahi gets it up to Gozlin. Gozlin with the overhead kick, and chasing this down will be Maya Angus as she goes back to Noelle Henning. And again, NDC will reset and regain their formation. So much real estate available in front of this back four anytime they do reset for the NDC. Very surprising after the games that we did preview ahead of this match. Ball in through to Bianchin. Bianchin unable to get to it before Palacio Tele, and collected here by Amaretta in the center of the pitch. She's found Tegan Mellenhorst. Mellenhorst is going to try and slip a pass through to Schobro. Mellenhorst comes away with it. It looks like she's going to have an eye towards goal. She's closed down quickly there by Sagala. Another ball swung into the middle, headed in towards goal, and Palacio Tele with the big save. She's made 2 really nice saves here to keep her team in this match. We would expect as much from a player with as much experience as she does provide.
Yeah, the girls in white are lucky to get away on that one. They had 2 open back post options, right? So what a save by the keeper on that one.
It was a very solid cross there and a fantastic connection. She's going to be absolutely vital to this squad, and you've seen it so far already here this afternoon, as she's really been pivotal for this side here in the first 26 minutes of play. We got a 2-player wall being set up and directed by Tele on the free kick here. Rocky puts a ball into the box, and it's Palacio Tele grabbing that one out of the air, and she's going to throw it out onto the wing quickly. Alana Oriente plays the ball back. Shayla He taken down, and she's going to win the free kick. Ball played over the top here, and onto it is Oriente. Oriente with a shot in towards goal. She's a player who can strike the ball from distance. She's able to do it with both feet as well. Talk to me a little bit about what it means to have that ability and use both your feet, because I feel like a lot of players grow up and they go, oh, I'm right-footed or I'm left-footed, and you really can't have that at this level, can you?
Definitely not. I mean, I tell the kids I coach all the time that if you say you're right-footed, that means you just got to put twice as much effort into the left. Being able to have both feet, especially being able to shoot the ball and with power and accuracy, just makes you that much more dangerous as a player and unpredictable.
Mellenhorst tried the cheeky little turn there, and her touch lets her down as the ball goes out again for a MRO throw-in. They'll get another one here as they continue to apply pressure on this NDC squad defensively. Sagala gets it into Gosselin. This is Ularbi, and fantastic defensive effort there by Maya Angus to stop her in her tracks. Gosselin at the edge of the box. She's dispossessed. Ball up for Bianchin, and Mellenhorst comes away with it, dances around one, still on it. Intercepted there by Casey Kosher. Kosher had a very good game against CF Montreal in the League1 Quebec final. Malia Allard getting the ball up to He. Shayla He has found Gosselin, who nods it on to Ularbi. Ularbi with it now, the Algerian Youth International, getting it out onto the wing. Lovely little touch there, but it's Maya Angus getting the ball back for NDC and playing it out and relieving a little bit of the pressure here from this MRO side. And it looks like we're going to take a well-deserved water break for both these sides, and some tactical information being relayed by the coaching staffs. If you're the CSMRO coaching staff. What are you telling your players at this stage?
I think you got to stay patient, right? It's not like NDC is generating that many attacks. I think that their positioning in defense is good. When they win the ball, they do need to transition a little bit quicker and join the attack with more numbers.
On the other side of the pitch, what are you telling your players if you're the coaching staff for NDC?
I think the quality of possession is strong with NDC. However, the decisions on the ball, they need to be made with intention. And once we shift wide, the speed to come back inside has to be a little bit more intense, because once we do get them to shift, those spaces are naturally going to open up, right? And I'm assuming that's what they want.
So we were talking a little bit earlier about the goals in that first 5 minutes. We're going to have a look at those here really quickly. What did you pick up on this first goal here from NDC?
You know what? I think that the first goal from NDC, it's movement into the box. We got the ball and we got a service in. It's just unfortunate the way it fell, right? But we did have a player there ready to tap it in case that it did fall down.
And then what did you see on the CSMRO goal?
The CSMRO goal, what a beauty finish. You know, that's what we want to see, is that ball getting driven down to that goal line, cut back for a better available option, and a nice tap in to top it all off.
So I was mentioning before that you're going to be here for the next game, kickoff at 8 o'clock p.m. Then you're going to be back for the final and the semifinal, or the first place gold medal game on Sunday, and then the third place game. It's going to be a very busy weekend here. We've got a lot going on.
Lots going on, lots of footy, but we love it. Got a good view too, right?
Fantastic view here at Tim Hortons Field. What a fantastic facility for these young ladies to be getting a taste of a professional atmosphere. This is Ozard. Chance coming here, Shayla He, and she cuts into the middle. Shot by Shayla He, and that's going to whistle over the bar. And Noelle Henning is going to have a word to say to her back line here. I mentioned before, she's a fiery competitor, really leads this team from the back, and she's going to have to take on a large leadership role here. And we're going to have another look at this shot by Shayla He as she cuts in on Reese Kay and puts a right-footed shot over the goal.
Yeah, when we were talking with City before the game, right, he was talking about how he wanted to isolate number 8, Shayla He, out wide to create those opportunities. She's a big outlet for this team, super strong in 1v1s, and obviously looking to isolate her is a good trick to have in your back pocket.
Mellenhorst whistled down for the foul, and we've got another player down on the pitch for CSMRO. It looks like it's Gosselin. So Mont-Royal and Outremont are two suburbs of Montreal, both with about 90,000 as their population. So not a huge pool to draw from, but this side's they've been tasked with bringing things up to the level that their men's side have been on. Their men played here against Forge in the Canadian Championship, and then they played back in the old Inter-Provincial Championship before League 1 teams were allowed into the Canadian Championship against Blue Devils back in 2017, if I'm not mistaken. It's a huge task for a club of only 2,000 members, 600 of them playing competitively, to get into this game even. What a fantastic job that they've done here with this squad on both sides, and especially now that they've really put the attention on to the women's side.
That's what you want to see, right? You want to see the women's game growing. I saw yesterday or the other day online that soccer for girls and for women has become the most popular sport globally. And when you see a program with such, not a limited base, but a smaller base to pick from, like you mentioned, and come through and now be performing on a national stage, you got to put some credit where it's due there, and they're doing something right at that club.
They're definitely doing something right. You're right. This is Osmaid Ayar lined up over the ball. Tegan Mellenhorst is the only player in the wall right now for NDC. Everybody lined up to one side of the box right now for MRO, and a high lofted ball, and it's just over the head of Rose Hughes, and that's going to go out for an NDC goal kick. MRO still playing with only 9 outfield players right now, as Oriente still stretching out whatever she injured here only moments ago. Ball through, and they're looking for Ularbi once again.
We see a lot of consistency with CF Mont-Royal using their half spaces, trying to create opportunities through either the wide flank and coming back inside, looking to cut the ball back or cross it in. But it's interesting to see the two dynamics kind of going head to head here.
This is Maya Angus slipping a pass through for Shobro. She's found Bianchin to Mellenhorst, and Mellenhorst has found Gaynor. Gaynor's at the top of the box, but it's Shayla He dispossessing her, and she's going to relieve the pressure, getting the ball up to Gosselin. Gosselin shields the ball, and she's pickpocketed, and the ball's played out now for Maya Angus. Angus with a little bit of room here on the left decides to put it into the middle for Mellenhorst. She's giving it up for Retta. Another turnover, and Gosselin's going to collect in the middle of the pitch. Ularbi's going to play it out onto the wing. Mont-Royal Outremont still playing with 9 outfield players as Mellenhorst works her way into the middle. Giving it up here for Retta. Ball out wide for Gaynor. Gaynor at the edge of the box, trying to round the corner, and she'll be stopped in her tracks, and that ball is going to go out for an NDC corner kick. It feels like it's been ages since we've seen a corner kick here for NDC. They're starting to step things up a little bit.
Definitely a momentum shift for a minute there, but now we see them back obviously in their end and dominating these opportunities. Give that girl a little bit more space and she would have been right by her with that speed.
Kusher getting a ball up for Oriente. Fabulous challenge there by Ozard, and she's got the ball on the wing, and it looks like she's going to swing it across, and it's blocked and pops up into the air. I think we might see a little bit of that momentum shift back into a neutral position here now that MRO have got a full squad back out onto the pitch. A little bit of a chance here for them to catch their breath as we've got another throw in coming for NDC. Working her way to the top of the box. Shot in towards goal and off the crossbar. There off the boot of Olivia Chisholm. She can strike a ball. And you can see right there another opportunity for NDC.
From this angle, it kind of looked like it bounced over the line a little bit, but that was what a strike. She smacked the leather off that ball.
Here's Chisholm again. Out to Gaynor. Gaynor playing it back for Retta. This is Ozard with it now again. Plenty of space in front of her. Retta working her way out to the right. And that pass is just slightly off target, and we've got another goal kick coming here for Leah Palacio-Tele. How important is it for a side to have a keeper in place who's making big saves like we've seen from Tele so far here this afternoon when you're in a pivotal match like this?
You know, they can be the difference maker between winning and losing, right? You can do as much as you can defensively, but sometimes when it comes down to that last person between the goal line and the ball, you want somebody who's stellar, right? Who's going to feel like you trust them a lot. So having a strong keeper, a strong presence back there just gives you a bit more confidence as a player.
Retta slipping a ball through to Mellenhorst. This is Adriana Bianchin dancing her way through at the top of the box, and she's going to have to play it out onto the wing for Maya Angus. Angus getting around her opponent and working her way down to the touchline. She's going to try and swing a ball in, and that's going to be deflected and go out for a NDC corner kick. A real chess match here, as you said earlier. We're finally starting to see NDC break through a little bit more. Corner kick coming from Victoria Rocky here. It'll be a right-footed in-swinger. Goes front post, popped up into the air. It'll be Retta coming out to meet it. Urabi on her. Urabi gets a foot in. Mellenhorst playing it back into the box, and it'll be Palacio Tele coming out to collect that ball. And she wants to play it quickly. Mellenhorst brings it down. Mellenhorst working her way out onto the right side. Being closed down by Allard. Allard winning it back, but Mellenhorst gets a foot in, and finally Allard getting control and getting it to AR. Sheila He with a lovely little back heel pass for Gosselin. Ball over the top for Sheila He, but again Reese Kay is there to nod that one away. Catherine Ozard through to Retta.
Oh, what a good ball.
Fantastic ball through to Bianchin, and coming well out of her goal is Palacio Tele to clear that. It's going to be out for another NDC throw, and it looks like they're going to try and get it in quickly.
There's that speed we were talking about.
Chance coming here for NDC. Ball played into the middle, and it's Palacio Tele getting a foot to it, and it's finally cleared by Eva Bauti.
When you isolate someone like Brianna Gaynor out wide, you're going to want to be on that back foot. If she takes one step by you, she's gone.
Chisholm in, trying to win the ball back for NDC, and she gets the throw. Olivia Chisholm featured in 17 matches during the regular season, scored 2 goals. We saw her blast that one off the post, or crossbar rather, that. She's not afraid to shoot.
You drop it officially?
You guys can hear the wind on the microphones here. Looking at the corner flags, it's really blowing from right to left at some speed. It's a common thing here in Hamilton. You'll recall that World Cup qualifier match between Canada and the USA, where Canada beat the Americans here, and in the lead up to that match it was described as a wind tunnel. We've got the escarpment just to your right here, and the wind comes down off of that into this man-made valley in front of us and really whips around. This is Urabi. Urabi with the ball into the middle, and another shot by Gosselin, and that's again over the goal and out for a goal kick.
A player I'm really excited to continue to watch, Joelle Gosselin. She's coming with a lot of experience, won this tournament 2 years ago, and brings, you know, a little bit of maturity, a little bit of guidance, as you mentioned before, directing her teammates on how to set up and be prepared. But somebody that I think is going to be dangerous in front of goal.
I think you're absolutely right with that. Ozard playing a ball up for Mellenhorst. Mellenhorst moving into space here on the left side, getting it out onto the wing for Schober. Schobro trying to play a pass in for Adriana Bianchin, and just failed to lead her enough to run onto that one. Well, Larby's going to play that one Well, it looked like she'd played it out off of Catherine Ozard, but the call's going to go NDC's way. Ball played forward to Oriente. Oriente is going to put it into the middle. This is Buiti. Or Ayar, rather, that. Out for Ularbi. Ularbi puts a ball into the box, and Shayla He puts one over the goal. And out for another NDC goal kick. We're here in the 45th minute of play. Have a look at this replay as the ball goes out onto the wing. Ularbi swings in across. Shayla He puts it over the goal.
The delivery of that ball could not have been better. The only player that was open in that situation was the back of the box at Shayla He, and put the ball right on her foot. Unfortunately, couldn't finish.
This is Oriente at the top of the box. She loses the ball, and it's out wide here for Shobro. Flying in with Sagala to make the tackle. Sounds like we're going to have 6 minutes of additional time here in the first half as a bare minimum. Ball pushed out onto the wing. Sounds like we've had a correction. It'll be 3 minutes of additional time. This is Gaynor playing a ball into the box and dealt with by Kosher. Or Lard, rather, that. That's Kosher who made the block. And Kosher with the strong challenge there, a little bit late. And Gaynor's going to win the PK here for NDC late in the first half. Have another look at it here. Kosher with the initial block comes out, and then Gaynor tripped up as Kosher kind of has a rush of blood to the head there and leaves a foot in.
Yeah, right before halftime, that's a tough, tough foul to give up, especially giving up a PK.
How much pressure is there right now on the player taking the penalty here? It looks like it's going to be
Reese K.
Reese K.
You know what? Something tells me she looks pretty confident. Pressure for sure, but we want that.
Reese K steps up and she smashes the ball low and off the post. And redemption here for CSMRO. And you can see the bench excited, the team rallying around Palacio Tele. And a bit of relief there for the Ligue Quebec squad as they are still in this one.
It's a well-struck PK, right? Couple inches off to that right, and it would have been in. But that woodwork is keeping it an interesting game. Keeper guessed right, though.
Mellenhorst with the ball on the far side. This is Ayar, and she's dispossessed. Ozard. She's going to play it here for Reese K. Looks like Ozard and K have switched sides here in their central defensive positions. Angus goes back. This is Reese K to Ozard. Ozard with it still. Gozlin applying the bare minimum of pressure here. And that's your first half, folks. Going into the break, it's 1-1 for NDC Ontario and CS Mont-Royal Outremont. And as you can see here, pretty balanced with shots from both sides. What are you taking away from this first half here?
I think that we're seeing two different styles. One that's being patient and looking to counter, and one that looking to dominate in possession.
Well, thanks for that, Jade. We'll be right back in just a moment with your second half of action, or the halftime show, rather than.
Gatorade. with electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Gatorade.
Degree, 72-hour non-stop protection. Antiperspirant with motion sense. Tested to the limit. Degree, keeps working when others stop.
This ultimate mouth-watering moment is brought to you by the big, bold, ultimate taste of Ultimate Chicken Hot Dogs, only from Maple Lodge Farms.
Power doesn't sound like it used to. The all-electric ID4 with instant acceleration. Electric feels good.
Volkswagen.
Hey, let's go somewhere beachy.
I don't like sand.
What? What about Cancun sand? It's so soft. Or maybe Caribbean white sand.
Sure.
Ooh, Costa Rican sand. It's got
dolphins.
Costa Rica, then?
Yeah, Costa Rica.
Good choice.
It was all him.
With over 50 sunny destinations to choose from, we have a flight for that.
Welcome back, friends. We're joined here now by Mackenzie Barlow to talk about what we've seen in the first half. Tell us a little bit about your interpretation of what's been playing out on the field here today.
It's been an entertaining one. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't expecting such a quick response from CS Montreal after the first, 7 to 10 minutes there. Pretty back and forth, highly contested. Definitely can't complain about the entertainment value. And then you look at that maybe controversial crossbar there. What'd you guys make of that, Jade?
From my angle, it looked like it could have been in for sure. We have a kind of a bird's eye view up here, and what a smack. It was by Olivia Chisholm, I believe, right?
That's
and we could hear the ring off the woodwork all the way up here. So I don't know. If we had VAR here, it would be definitely under review.
Yeah. Well, there's one other thing that I wanted to point out, and that goes off of the conversation that we had on One Soccer a couple days ago, and that is the goalkeeper of CS Montreal. Let's talk about her for a second, because not only is she the keeper, but also the captain, and I think she's lived up to the expectations. We gave her the little rundown in our show and talked about the leadership she has and the skill set, but you look at what she's done so far, and how do you think that gives the attack their ability to play so freely when they know they have such a stable keeper behind them?
You couldn't have used a better word. Stable is everything. She's come off the back line, come outside of her box to even intercept some of the long balls that have threatened their back line and behind. So stable, safe, giving the attacking players a little bit more confidence up top to do what they please. And if you're seeing on the flanks some players doing some creative things like step overs, looking for the meg, trying to run past them on the flank there, I think that's kind of stems from having so much confidence at that back line.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies, who's caught your eye out there outside of the goalkeepers? Because obviously that's a pretty easy pick, because she's made like 3 big saves. And kept her team in this one, but who's really impressed you out from an attacking perspective?
Jade, I'll let you take the lead on this.
Yeah, if I could go first, Tegan Melhorst has lived up to, the excitement that we've created around her in approaching this game. She's been creative. She's been, dancing on the ball, living on it in dangerous spaces, and looking to feed her teammates in behind and into those half channels. So somebody that I'm really excited to see maybe put one in the back of the net in the second half.
Honestly, you kind of took the words right out of my mouth. I can't lie. I think on both sides, and I've also appreciated, the stability of CS Montreal, even though NDC has been pushing with so much pressure for these past, half hour now. And I think just even from a defensive perspective, that's something that I can really respect, because it's easy in those situations to maybe let the pressure get to you, make those silly mistakes, but they seem really calm and composed.
They do.
So it's a ton of fun talking about things, but why don't we have a quick look here at some of the highlights from the first half. It looks like we've got some really impressive things to look at here. This looks like it's the first goal. That ball swung in by Gaynor, and then the second one by Gosselin. What a fantastic performance by Gosselin up top for CS MRO. Here's that opportunity we saw from Chisholm that went off the bar, and another look at it. And I know there was a bit of controversy there. What are we thinking, ladies?
It's tough to say.
It's a little fast, but I don't know. I'm going to stick with my answer. I think it went in. I think it bounced over that line.
Here's another chance for Gosselin. It's been back and forth, though, as Jade said earlier in the match. A real chess match here. Such a fantastic platform for these young ladies. Talk to me about the opportunities that these young women are getting here on a national stage right now.
Yeah, if I could start, I think going back a little bit of history here between Mac and I, we started in cross paths in League One when in 2016, and she was playing for the League One reserve team while I was in League One Prem, and there was I think eight clubs at the time, and now we've grown to 48. So yeah, I think the opportunity speaks for itself to play on a national level.
Here's that penalty again, off the post. Fantastic stuff from both sides here today in the hammer. There it is, a good look at the escarpment we were talking about. Here you've got a quick look at the stats. Again, very even between both these sides as far as shots on goal, shots on target. Corner kicks, obviously in favor of NDC, as they've had, it seems balanced, but from my perspective, they've had the lion's share of the real opportunities on goal. And not a ton of offsides, not a ton of fouls either. That's been nice to see.
Yeah, I think to your point about corners, I think that's pretty indicative of how much pressure NDC has been putting on Montreal. But Jade, I have a question for you. I know from my perspective, having played for as long as I did, if I hit a crossbar and I think that went in, are you going into the second half with a little bit more grit, maybe a chip on your shoulder to earn that back, feeling a little hard done by?
Yeah, let's turn around here and actually look at the camera here. So, no, I think the ball it can roll a certain way sometimes, and I think how you deal with those punches in a game like that, where you kind of like, you know what, that one did not fall my way. I'm feeling a little bit fired up to go out there and just make sure I capitalize on that opportunity again.
Yeah.
So on that note, what are you hoping to see from these two sides coming out in the second half?
You know what? I think we've seen a lot of grit. A lot of composure, right? But I think we need to see more risk. As soon as we enter that final phase, that final zone, we need to see players go 1v1, but at pace and with intent to make that decision to create an opportunity for us. We're seeing a lot of balance in possession and patience, but who's going to be the one to create something that's going to, take the team to the next level?
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely. I totally agree with what you're saying there. Making those runs in behind and taking those chances. I don't know how much longer we're going to wait until we see that, because you can only go so far. Someone's got to make something happen, as you said. But I can't wait to watch more of this. I'm sure the fans will get more into it as we go further into the game. But seeing women play at the stadium is pretty refreshing. I can't lie.
It's really
it's
cool
nice
to
being pitch side and seeing them, as much as I do love the CPL and Forge FC, of course. It's a different scene, and I like it.
Yeah.
So Jade, you coach on the side here when you're not so busy playing. If you were the coach for either one of these sides, what would you be telling your side here at halftime if you're, say, the CSMRO coach?
Yeah, CSMRO, I'd say that our patience in defending, waiting for NDC to maybe slip up or give us something because they are so patient in possession. When we win the ball, we want to look to play to our highest player as quickly as possible, which they've been doing. But if you look at their attack, there's not a lot of numbers around the ball. So we do need to support that a little bit quicker or hold the ball up to let us join, and then we can maybe take over possession higher up the pitch.
Now, Mackenzie, if you're the coach for NDC right now, what are you telling your side?
I think they're doing the right things. You know, that as we said, the stats for the amount of corners they've had are showing that. And I think it's more of the same, to be honest with you. They're in the final third. It's just about being clinical now.
Yep.
So, ladies, we've got a big tournament going on here. What do you want moving forward from this women's game here in Canada with this sort of prospect in front of us that we've got here?
Yeah, I think it's just about continuing on this trajectory, right? It's about normalizing events like this, normalizing women walking into Tim Hortons Field. You know, you see them walk out onto the field before they start, and it's just, you could kind of see it in their eye, you know, like they're just happy to be here, and it's one of those things where it's like, okay, this is so cool, but this is how it should be.
Yeah, well said.
Degree, 72-hour non-stop protection. Antiperspirant with motion sense. Tested to the limit. Degree, keeps working when others stop.
This ultimate mouth-watering moment is brought to you by the big, bold, ultimate taste of Ultimate Chicken Hot Dogs, only from Maple Lodge Farms.
For sport played with our feet. Funny how lending a hand takes us further together.
Power doesn't sound like it used to. The all-electric ID4 with instant acceleration. Electric feels good.
Volkswagen.
Welcome back, friends. We're here in beautiful Hamilton, Ontario for the League 1 Canada Inter-Provincial Championships. My name is Pierce Lang. I'm joined by Jade Kovacevic here. The score is 1-1 for NDC Ontario and CS Mont-Royal Outremont. Jade, it's been a fantastic game so far. I know I'm excited to see the second half of action here. Do you imagine that we're going to see some substitutions here?
Yeah, I believe we will, maybe not right off the bat, and hoping so too, because I love what I've seen. I love seeing these players on the pitch get their experience. But yeah, you know what, I think that both benches have a backbone full of talent, so maybe we're going to see some new faces enter the field today.
Talk to me a little bit about the pressure that these players are feeling, and probably in most cases the biggest game of their lives.
Yeah, you know what? We got some young guns on the field, and when you think about the run that a player has to go through for their entire season, you're starting preseason back in January, February for some clubs, and sometimes you don't even get much of a break throughout the year. So if you look at that run, we're at 6-7 months of prep for this very moment, and you want to win. When you're a high-performing athlete, you put all that time in, it comes down to these moments like this, so pressure's on for sure.
So is Brianna Gaynor getting the first goal of the game to give NDC the early lead, and then only moments later it was Joël Gosselin tying things up, and from there NDC hit a crossbar with a controversial crossbar through Olivia Chisholm, and then the penalty kick that went off the post as well from Reese Kay. It could have been 3-1.
Yeah, a lot of woodwork saves today.
And we're back underway here, friends. Glad to be here with you in gorgeous Hamilton, Ontario. What a perfect day for a game, too. Just that slight breeze. Up here, at least, you look at the corner flags and they're flapping away, so it's a bit windier down at pitch level. No substitutions of note here to start the second half. Both teams coming out with the same squad. My Angus will win the free kick after she's taken down. Ozard getting the ball to Reese Kay, and she's going to have to chase this one down towards the sideline. Again, MRO giving lots of space to this NDC squad in their own end, and the NDC are so comfortable with the ball in possession deep in their own end. And Moretta has the ball go off the referee, and she gets it back again. Moretta tripped up by Rose Hughes, and she'll get the call. I think that Sheila Couture was trying to play advantage there and decided that the advantage was not quite with NDC Ontario in that instance. So it'll be a free kick from a good ways out. What are you thinking here, Jade? Shot on goal? Would you take the shot here?
It's a tough one. I don't think so. I think I would look to drop it backside of the 6 and hope that, one of our aerial dominant players could get on the end of it.
We can see everybody kind of lining up on the far side of the box right now for NDC Ontario, and it's Tegan Mellenhorst stepping over the ball, and it's played out wide for Gaynor. Gaynor puts a ball into Ward's goal, and it's just over the bar and out over the goal. No trouble there whatsoever for Leah Palacio Tele, the captain for CS MRO. It was a chess match in the first half, and we'd expect nothing less here as Bianchin collects the ball and works her way into space before getting it out wide to be played into the middle, but it looks like offside as Brianna Gaynor sat there waiting for the ball. This is Kosher to put the ball back into play. Can't get it past half, and popped up into the air off the head of Olivia Chisholm. Kosher clears once again, and it'll be an NDC throw deep in their own end. Ball put back into play, and NDC win possession. Amaretta getting it out wide for Rocky. This is Olivia Chisholm. Chisholm's been so strong on the ball all day today. I've really been impressed with her performance. She's been used predominantly as a sub this year for NDC Ontario. I was getting ahead of myself there. I wanted to say Ava Greco's generally filled that role for NDC throughout the season. This is Mellenhorst popping a ball up over the top, and that's offside all day, every day.
Good look, though. Really creative movement in behind, and what a little flick over the back line by Tegan Mellenhorst.
Here's Mellenhorst again, playing a ball in, and just a little bit too far in front of the intended target, which was Brianna Gaynor. And it goes out, and NDC win the ball back. It's Mellenhorst, top of the box. Mellenhorst looking to goal, and she'll have her shot blocked by Eva Bouti.
Great ball.
NDC really cranking things up here in the second half, even to another degree beyond where they were in the first half.
Definitely coming out strong right away in this half here, and we're seeing them kind of dominate and orchestrate this possession right outside their 18. Super dangerous spot to be living on the ball.
Angus getting it and then trying to play a ball out wide, but it's picked off by Ariane Sagala. Here's Angus winning it back for NDC, and she's got room in front of her. Angus playing a ball into the middle, and no one there in red to get it, as Palacio Tilley comes out and smashes the ball up over half, trying to spring a counter attack. Gosselin heading it towards Sheila He, and that'll be played out, and NDC will get a chance to regroup, refresh, and reorganize here as we've reached the 63rd minute of play in beautiful Hamilton, Ontario. Gaynor's ball goes out for a CSMRO throw here just at the halfway mark. Sheila He bringing it down, getting it back to Allard, and she tried to play a ball over the top. And eventually it's Osman Dayer collecting for CSMRO. Sagala pushing the ball forward. This is Oriente. Oriente closed down quickly by Maya Angus, but it's Oriente from distance, and it's Chisholm getting ahead to it. Gosselin in the middle of the box, and she's shielded off the ball, and Catherine Ozard's going to play it up for Mellenhorst. Picked off again. Chance coming here. Oriente playing a ball into the box, and it's cleared away and popped up into the air. Maya Angus unable to get contact on it, and it's Sagala playing another ball into the box. Intended for Sheila He. Fantastic defensive effort there from Victoria Roki to escort that ball out of bounds. Victoria Roki being told to take a couple steps back to put this ball back into play. You can hear the communication between the NDC players here from this level. It's so important to have good communication with your side, and I know I'm personally glad to see it with this kind of makeshift squad that we're seeing from the ladies in red, as they've not got a ton of playing time together, so important to organize themselves. Larby dispossessed in the middle. Chisholm on it, laying it off for Reese Kay. Kay trying to get Brianna Gaynor involved. Picked off by Shayla He. Back heel there from Ularbi, and eventually it's going to go into the corner. Can he chase this down? She cannot. It's going to be a goal kick coming here for Noelle Henning.
When we look at a lot of the attacks that CF Montreal has generated here, not a lot of numbers. You know, we're getting some great passes out of pressure, higher up the pitch. However, the support around those passes does need to come a little bit faster.
How much of that comes from them sitting back as much as they are?
That's exactly it, right? As soon as we do outplay, we do have to keep the lines between our defenders, our midfielders, our strikers condensed. If one line pushes up, the other line's got to be attached by a rope, right, and come with them.
Allard with the block there to put an end to that. Quick counter NDC we're trying to spring. Bianchin goes to ground. Allard, such a strong physical presence. She gets the ball back to Kosher. Ball finds its way to He. He gets it out wide for Ularbi. Ularbi dancing on the ball. Playing it back for Ayar. He gets it out wide for Ularbi. This is what we've been looking for. Ayar with the ball in the box. Ayar with a shot in towards goal, and she's going to whistle that one just wide of Noelle Henning's goal.
Yeah, as we look at the replay here, that's a tough angle to come into goal at and have that shot off. You're better off to look maybe across that box where the penalty spot is for a cutback. Maybe a nice tap in is available there.
Allard collects. Just seems like for the MRO squad, they're just not connecting the way they want to. You can see the frustration in the body language from here.
Definitely, definitely. You know, there might be a little bit of lag from the travel route down, and also, you know, they too have some players in there that are newer to this squad. So getting that, I guess, that composure within one another and understanding how we play and what we want to execute on. We're seeing a lot of isolated play, a lot of 2v2s, 1v1s.
This is Shayla He getting it out wide for Ularbi. Ularbi, the Algerian youth international. Henning coming out to fist that ball away, and it's cleared from the box. Only getting as far as Ularbi once again. Ularbi will play it back for Allard. Dangerous pass back there off the boot of Rose Hughes. Not enough mustard on that one to reach the keeper.
Yeah, definitely. If you're playing back to your keeper, you want to zing it in so that she feels comfortable, right? Got as much time on the ball as possible.
Shayla He dispossessed as she tries to push forward. Kept in, but it'll be Allard winning it back from MRO. Now she's out of position, and this is a fantastic opportunity for Bianchin to run onto a ball. She's got it here on the near sideline, trying to get around the defender, and they're wrestling on the ground for the ball. Mellenhorst turning on it. Rocky moving towards the top of the box. Rocky with a shot, another big save by Palacio Tele, and it's pushed out wide and finally cleared by Ariane Sagala. Let's have another look at this shot in towards goal off the boot of Victoria Rocky. She got it in a fantastic spot, moved into space, got around one and then through two players and fires the shot in towards Leah Palacio-Tele. What a fantastic save.
Great save. You know, that keeper has been so strong and such a huge key for success for CF Montreal. Kept them in the game, truly.
This is Rocky. Or Retta, rather that. Retta still battling to win the ball back off of Shelahi, unable to do so. Willarby. Allard getting it up for Shelahi. We talked about this before. Shelahi's someone they're going to want to engage with all game on the wing here as the ball is played up, and it'll be dealt with easily by Maya Angus. That's going to go out for a CSMRO throw in deep in enemy territory. Things starting to balance out a little bit here as far as possession from my vantage point, but the opportunity's still really going the way of NDC Ontario here so far in the second half.
Yeah, you're starting to see more possession starting to kind of hold itself in the attacking half on both sides, generating, you know, some opportunities, not necessarily the most clear cut though. You know, that last save that we just had for CF Montreal, that was probably the only opportunity so far we've seen, but domination and possession in the final phases for both teams. Also made AR
To take the corner kick here. Looks like it's going to be a right-footed ball. I'm going to guess she puts a little zip on this one, and she does. Looks like it's going back post, and nobody there to get onto the end of it. This is Shelahi. He cutting back down towards the touchline, and a little bit of a strong challenge there on Victoria Rocky, to say the least. And we've got a substitution coming here for NDC Ontario, as it looks like they're going to get a couple players into the match. Coming in will be Sabrina Mora and Emma Donnelly. Coming out of the game will be Victoria Rocky. And then we'll have an update here for you. It looks like Adriana Bianchin coming out as well for NDC Ontario. Bianchin looked pretty good out there. I'd like to see her be a bit more involved in the play. It seems like she wasn't getting the service that we might have hoped for this match.
Yeah, you know what? I can relate to her big time this game, is because, you know, she was a part of quite a few generated attacks opportunities. She was right there off that first own goal for CF Montreal. And you know what? I feel like her first touch, and sometimes the ball just scooted a little bit too far from her. So, you know, the clear-cut opportunities that she might see in a normal game, it just wasn't there for her today.
Ball over the top, and here's Mora, the sub, getting involved early in a fabulous challenge there by Casey Kosher, and she'll clear after winning that ball back for CSMRO deep in her own end, and she's gone down to ground. It looks like she's got a bit of a hamstring thing.
Yeah, you hate seeing that, right? But it is something that you start to see a little bit more often at this late in the season. Those calf cramps, hamstring cramps, those can be devastating.
Well, sure. Away from the game, that's your professional role as a physiotherapist. No, talk to me a little bit about how you prevent these sort of things for the folks watching at home.
Yeah, you know what? I think finding a good physio is key, and coming back myself from an Achilles rupture, finding somebody to support me through that, teaching me all the right things, you know, for post-game, pre-game. I go to a physio here called Elevate, and he's phenomenal, teaching me so much stuff.
Amaretta getting a ball and trying to play it onto the wing for Maya Angus, but just, again, not enough zip on that one, like you said before.
Not enough zip. You definitely got to look to either outplay or play to feet. And similarly, as soon as we clear the ball there, we need to get support underneath our number 9 to support her, especially if there's pressure on her back.
Mellenhorst with the ball in the middle, getting it out wide for the substitute, Donnelly. Great defensive effort there by Shelahi. Donnelly with it again on the near sideline. This is Mellenhorst. Mellenhorst with it still. Such a fantastic work rate from the diminutive midfielder.
Yeah, don't underestimate her size. I think she's a 5'3" player, so not the tallest, but has the bite and the aggression and engine of someone you don't want to go up against.
She might not be able to get on all the rides at the local county fair, but she's really making a name for herself here in the middle of the pitch, that's for sure.
Absolutely, has been a dominant present today.
This is Donnelly with Shayla He on her back. Clearance attempt there, and it'll be Urabi with the back heel, and coming away with it is Olivia Chisholm. Chisholm's had a fabulous game today.
Yeah, she's been kind of the conductor for NDC in the middle of the pitch, picking when choosing to go forward, when to shift the ball. Very, very composed player.
We talked about this earlier. She's coming into this after playing limited minutes throughout the season, predominantly as a substitute for Ava Greco, who's a fantastic player herself, and she's really stepped into this one without any hesitation and looked wonderful out there on the ball.
That's what we love to see, right? Players taking their chances and getting their opportunities right away. It's especially in that program, you got to fight for every minute that you get, and when you do get your opportunity, you make it worth it, and I think that's exactly what she's doing.
Now, you played for Canada at youth levels. Talk to me a bit about the pressure of being under that microscope all the time. Every game matters.
Yeah, I think it just kind of comes with being in the environment. The care factor for every player, every staff member is so high that, you want to perform and you want to put on a good performance, especially knowing the opportunities that come with being in the national program to jump to other teams, play in tournaments, play in competitions. Yeah, it's definitely a high spotlight, but it's performers like this is what we want to see playing for our country.
Brianna Gaynor taken down on that challenge there by Rose Hughes, and it'll be a free kick for NDC Ontario at a very tight angle. And know that ambulance you hear in the background is not for Brianna Gaynor as she slowly rises to her feet here.
She's been a dominant threat down the line in the half space, sending solid service into the box. She's been one to watch for sure.
Reese Kay to take this free kick for NDC Ontario. Two-woman wall in front of her. It's Shayla He and Anais Ularbi. Getting instruction here from Palacio Tele. Where would you like to see this ball played?
You know what? Because she's a righty, there's going to be an outswing. I'd like to see it ideally between the penalty spot and back of the six.
So we're looking for Olivia Chisholm to run on this one by the looks of it at the top of the box.
Absolutely. Probably going to be putting it back post with these runners kind of coming into the back of the six, it looks like.
Ball whipped into the box, not too far off from where your hope was, but not on target either.
Dangerous ball, right? Anything just outside that 6-yard box is tricky for that keeper to jump out. It's kind of no man's land.
We'll call it no woman's land here because it's the Inter-Provincial Championships here.
Well said.
Ball popped up into the air by Bouti. She's been pretty quiet here today. Someone I was really having high hopes for this afternoon.
For sure. Somebody we spoke about in the beginning of our pregame talk, and somebody whose coach emulated her as the player that is the beautiful game and really displays that in how she plays, and would love to see a little bit more flair from her, for sure.
Rosalind getting it onto the boot of, looks like, Alana Oriente. Still no substitutions here, even warming up for CSMRO right now as we're into the 69th minute of play. Surprising. Usually it's about the 60-minute mark, 65th minute mark, we start seeing players making their way into the game, and no one even stretching or getting a run in here so far.
Yeah, you know what? It looks like they're sticking to their original guns and trying to see where it plays out. I believe at the 90th minute we go straight to PKs, right? So another tactic that coaches need to keep in mind in case that we do make it there.
Ball played across by Kay to Ozard. Ozard's pass is picked off. This is Gosselin. Gosselin's going to turn and play it back for AR. Her pass just slightly off target.
Catching our rhythm, or catching their rhythm and counterattack has been tricky today, it looks like.
Ball into Mellenhorst, and she loses out, and it's Oriente who won it back and then lost it right away for CSMRO. Shelahi trying to beat Gaynor to the ball. Gaynor gets to it first. She's found Donnelly. Donnelly with a pass into the middle, and it's picked off. Great challenge there by Chisholm. Gaynor with it now. Allard came out to meet her. Allard stepping over the ball, and unfortunate pass there by Anaïs Ularbi. And again, just this CSMRO squad struggling to connect the dots here and get it out of their own end.
Yeah, couldn't have said it better. I think both teams are starting to not hit the panic button, but definitely press the gas a little bit more to the floor as we approach, 20-ish minutes left in the game, and somebody needs to score here. So decisions have to stay sharp. Possession, needs to remain the same, and we do maybe need to look to go to goal a little bit faster.
NDC goal kick here in the 72nd minute of play. Ball up for Gaynor, and it's Allard coming away with it for MRO. Bit too much fancy pants there from Ularbi for my liking. We know she's got that creative flair, but sometimes it's about maintaining possession when things are as desperate as they are here.
For sure. There's a time and place for flair, for tricks and skills and stuff like that. When you're, regaining possession in zone 2 and you don't have full control of the ball, definitely not the time.
Donnelly getting away with a handball by the looks of it, or at least appeals for a handball by CSMRO. And Mellenhorst is going to win a free kick here just at the halfway mark of the pitch. Sand slipping through the hourglasses. Like you said, we are getting deeper into the second half, and you were correct. It does go straight to penalties. So the most exciting moment in all of sports.
Tough way to go out, but hey, that's the way the game goes. If you can't capitalize in 90, then unfortunately the keepers do get tested.
This is Catherine Ozard on the ball, and again, so much space in front of her. Shelahi trying to get a toe to that ball. She didn't need to, as it did go out off of the NDC clearance. Larby playing it out off of Reese K. Melly Allard to put it back in with the throw into Joël Gosselin. Headed clear by Reese K, and Mellenhorst gets it up for Mora. Mora with it. Challenge there from Rose Hughes. Oriente came away with it and still battling to win back possession. Shoboro getting it into the middle for Oh, lovely little bit of footwork there from Olivia Chisholm, but she's stopped in her tracks by Oriente. Ayar's pass picked off, and it's Mellenhorst with an even matchup in numbers here. She did have a player on the wing there to pass it to. It looked like Maya Angus was making a run, but a little bit of a miscommunication. We're going to go for a quick water break. We've reached that time, that all-important hydration factor. The girls going to get a Gatorade, proud sponsors today and all weekend long of the League 1 Canada Inter-Provincial Championship. Tune in at 8:30. Jade will be here.
Not going anywhere. Got me all night.
For the Whitecaps versus Calgary Blizzard match. That should be a fun one. Obviously, the Whitecaps coming in the reigning champions. What are you hoping to see in that one, Jade?
You know what? It's going to be a great showcase of the West Coast talent, and I'm super thrilled to see what that those leagues are bringing from the best of the best. And I'm not sure what to expect. I just know that it's going to be kind of a derby style. If you think about the competition between Ontario, Quebec, there's always that rivalry between those two provinces, and then as well with Calgary and BC, there's always a little bit of love-hate relationship, but we'll say it's no love lost instead.
Couple quick replays here for you guys. Fantastic challenge there by Chisholm. This is Shayla He with a bit of fancy footwork being closed down by Donnelly. Great work there by Donnelly to just sit back and jockey.
Yeah, patience. I think there was a little bit of a controversial handball, but yeah.
The officials had a better look. That's what I always like to say. Oh, the official had a better look than I did. They're closer.
Yeah, as a player, I definitely don't miss my moment to go into the ref and say, hey, where are we at with that call? Or, just check in, just make sure that we're on the same page, and just keeping that communication open with the ref so important, right?
Sure. Yeah, no, absolutely.
It absolutely is.
Very important to be in the refs here, no doubt, yeah. How else are you going to get calls to go your way, right?
Exactly.
Maya Angus will watch this one go out for a CS MRO corner kick here in the 77th minute of play. Still 1-1. We were mentioning it moments ago. It's a tongue twister right there. That if things are all knotted up in the 90th minute and whatever additional time is to be added on to this second half, it will go directly to penalties. How do you feel about penalty substitutions, Jade? Whether that be an outfield player or even the goalkeeper, as we've seen from time to time.
Goalkeeper is a different level. Asking a keeper to step in for a penalty shot shootout after not playing any games, it's a hard mental jump, let alone the physical side of competing in a penalty shootout as a keeper is tough, right? So, changing off the bench, okay, if you have some vets that are wanting to take the shot, absolutely.
Ayers corner kick goes all the way to the back of the box. Shayla He collects. Shayla He trying to get around Donnelly, and Donnelly stands her ground and forces another corner kick here for CS MRO. It'll be Ularbi to take. Right-footed in-swinger coming, but you can see that corner flag flapping in the wind.
Ball's running away on her as well. Something you can use to your advantage when you got an in-swing.
Looks like she's going near post. I was going to say it wouldn't be uncharacteristic for a player to go for the Olympico here at Tim Hortons Field. We saw it in the Canadian Premier League final last year, and what a glorious opportunity, like you said, on the in-swinger to put a ball in on goal.
Yeah, tricky, but if you got the technique, you can definitely use the wind to your advantage.
Shayla collects on the near sideline. Donnelly on her. Donnelly getting a foot in. She's been fantastic since she's come into this match, really keeping things going defensively and leaving an impression here early in her first real appearance in the League 1 Canada Inter-Provincial Championship.
Solid 1v1 defending. You know, she's patient. She's on that back foot, waiting for the player to make a decision and knowing when to step in to win it. Can't ask for anything else.
Ayer let the ball go through her legs, hoping a teammate was going to be on the other end, and it's turned over. Rose Hughes putting the ball out, only to have a quickly taken throw in by NDC. Good recovery here from Mont-Royal Outremont. Gaynor has her cross blocked. Donnelly puts it back in for Mellenhorst. Ayard's there to put the ball back out for another throw in. Mellenhorst down to the touchline. Steps over and plays it back to Donnelly. Donnelly swings in across. Schoberg with it, getting it to Angus. Maya Angus pushing in towards the touchline. Angus with it, still her cross again, blocked off the boot of Casey Kosher. And looks like we've got another player down on the pitch for CSMRO. Looks like it's number 5, Ariane Sagala, who's really turned things around after trundling that ball into her own goal very early in the match. She's been very solid.
She has. You know what? Getting that in the first couple of minutes of any game, especially a game of this, importance, it's tricky, right? It's something that plays into your mental side of the game. So, yeah, she's been solid in her performance otherwise, just again preventing another opportunity for NDC to come in on goal. So
a chance for the coaching staffs to talk to their teams here, although it looks like CSMRO are going to just have a little team talk out on the pitch while NDC go in and have a word with the technical staff. What are you telling your side if you're NDC's coaching staff right now?
We need to flood the box a little bit more. NDC does such a great job of committing players to one side of the pitch, especially when they don't have the ball, right? And if we do win the ball, or if they do win the ball in transition, they do need to capitalize sometimes on same side or look to the opposite half space to then join in numbers. That is so key, because if we look at that last attacking opportunity we had, it was almost a 2v2 or a 2v3 inside the box, and we want more than that, especially in front of the goal.
How about on the other side if you're Mont-Royal Outremont?
They need to connect the ball. They need to get the ball up to their target players as they're doing and then connect underneath. But then as soon as that happens, what are we doing with the ball? Do we want to go wide? Do we want to threaten behind? Those decisions, they need to be made with intent and at speed. And just a little bit more, what's the right word? Precision, I would say.
I love that. I love that. What I was thinking was just value possession a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because they've had the opportunities where they're getting it forward on the counter, but then it'll be someone trying a back heel or someone trying to let it slip through their legs to the player behind them who's not there, and they suddenly dwindled away an opportunity to really get a chance in towards goal, and they've been few and far between. I don't know that Noelle Henning's really been tested here in the second half.
I agree. There's time and place for that, but it's just not in the right zone that they're doing.
So it looks like Sagala's going to have to wait off on the sideline for a little bit here, and we may have a substitution coming into the match. We'll see if she can continue. It doesn't appear as such. NDC with a corner kick to get us back underway. Chisholm running close on the short, and miscommunication there. Kosher with the clearance, and that was blocked, and a ball into the middle of the box.
A great ball.
Finally, out of the CSMRO 18-yard box, and a reset here by NDC Ontario. Donnelly lofting one forward and headed away by Alana Oriente. And it looks like Kalina Baker will be entering the match here for Mont-Royal Outremont. Loving the hair. You ever think of dyeing your hair to match your club colors?
You know what? I did once, and I went dark red when I was playing for FC London. So.
See, here I was hoping it was pre-uniform change, and you went with the neon green when you girls were wearing the green and blue kits.
You know what? I gotta give her credit. The fact she went blue, that's huge commitment. Huge commitment. She probably rocks it.
Gosselin playing the ball back for Oriente. It's picked off by Maya Angus. Angus slipping a pass through and just a little bit behind the intended target, Mora.
It's a great movement in behind. Unfortunately, just not executed.
Gosselin nodding it on. Oriente giving chase, but it's going to be collected by Catherine Ozard. Looked like Angus was going to go for the quick throw in there, and one of my biggest pet peeves is the uncalled foul throw. Drives me absolutely nuts.
Yeah, you know what? Some teams, they get away with it more often than others. And we still see so many of those.
Mora trying to work her way through two CSMRO defenders and still battling hard to win the ball back. Fantastic work right here from Mora as she's closed down by Baker. Baker getting her first touch of the match. This is Maya Angus now on the far sideline. Angus is going to swing a ball into the box. Rising to meet that one was Brianna Gaynor, but it was just over her head. And look at the intensity being cranked up here by NDC Ontario. Donnelly getting it into the middle now. Retta on the ball. Emma Retta's ball will find no one in red and go all the way back to Palacio Tele. And she's had a bit more of a relaxing second half, I want to say. She had that one save early on, but not nearly as much pressure on her here as we saw in the first half.
Yeah, no testing shots from outside or inside the box. Like you mentioned, that one that had a diving save with a push off to the side. But NDC is looking to keep a lot of possession. Like I said, they do need to start taking more risks as we approach, 3 minutes left in this game. They're heading straight into PKs if they don't put one in the back of the net. So they do need to be more direct.
Donnelly looking to get the ball to Mellenhorst. Brianna Gaynor popping a ball into the air. Retta getting it out wide.
Oh, that's
ball
a great
into the
ball.
middle. Great opportunity here, but it's going to be offside. Another opportunity squandered.
You got to have your head on a swivel in those situations as a front player. So close, but you know that ball's getting served into the box right away. Getting called offside in this moment is something that you just can't have happen. It's a wasted opportunity, unfortunately.
And
Great
these
movement.
opportunities have been so few and far between. And like we've been mentioning, we're going to pens here in a minute plus whatever gets added on if nobody can find the back of the net.
Mm-hmm.
Gosselin, just so intense out there. Gaynor goes to ground. This is AR. AR getting it out wide for Shayla He. He with Donnelly on her. He with a step over, pushing it to her left and dealt with there by Reese Kay. And looks like Brianna Gaynor's down on the pitch. She'll receive some medical attention here. You hate to see this. She looks to be in a great deal of pain right now.
Yeah, she's holding her calf. You don't want to see that, especially with a player of her caliber that's, speedy. She's put in a lot of kilometers this game already. We see the trainer there stretching her out, so hopefully it's nothing too major, but definitely not. You don't want to see that in the 90th minute.
She's been so good so far this afternoon, playing so many balls back into the middle. We obviously saw her get the first one that went in so early in this match, and a big loss for this squad. Brings a lot of experience here as far as experience goes for this NDC squad. They're all so young. I mentioned it before that they're all so very young, 16.3 the average age of these players. But she's played 18 games so far this year. She hobbles off the pitch, 3 goals, mostly substitute appearances though. So good to see her getting almost the full 90 in, but it looks like she'll come out of the game. Coming into the match will be Annalisa Colangelo. Colangelo, a 16-year-old who featured in 2 matches this season for NDC Ontario, and looks like we've got a substitution coming here for CSMRO as well. It'll be Danica Banham coming in. And I believe that coming out of the match for CSMRO is Malia Lard. I've been wrong before though. No, Allard's still out there. It was Oriente who came out. There will be 5 minutes of additional time as a bare minimum added on to this match. Shayla He dancing through the middle, trying to slip a pass through for the substitute Banham. This will be escorted out by number 62 in red, Maya Angus. And here's our substitution. A little bit of confusion moments ago as to why NDC weren't allowed to make their sub. But it looks like coming into the match here will be Alessandra Garagno. Coming out of the match is Victoria Rocchi, or Emeretta, rather that. Garagno, 17-year-old, had 1 goal in 67 minutes this season. I was there for it. She scored against the Blue Devils about 2 minutes into her substitution appearance as Allard shields that ball out of bounds. So it was Emeretta who came out for Garagno, and Annalisa Colangelo in for Brianna Gaynor.
What a touch.
Shayla He trying to get around the corner again, and Donnelly's there. She's been so strong in that right back position since coming into this match. Unable to get anything done. He again. This is Reese Kay. Kay clears it out. The intensity being stepped up a couple levels, cranked up a couple notches here. We're about 3 and almost 4 minutes deep now into additional time. Pressure's got to be mounting. In a situation like this, Jade, I feel like I'm asking a stupid question right now because I know you're going to say you want to take it, but where are you placing yourself in that first 5? How much pressure is there based on where you shoot?
You know what? That's a great question. I think it depends on who you are and what you prefer. I could care less where I'm at in the 5, but I want to be in that 5. Especially if you're leading it, yeah, you got the first shot, so there's a bit of added pressure, and maybe if you're the last, you got to make that shot. So give me all the pressure that there is to handle. I love it.
I would expect nothing less from the League 1 Canada all-time leading scorer. This is Mellenhorst. Mellenhorst getting it back in the middle. Plays it back for Donnelly. Reese K back to Donnelly. I think they're probably going to kill off as much of this as they can by the looks of it, which is a bit surprising. This is Chisholm getting it out wide. Ball into the box and nodded on. Popped up into the air, and it'll be CSMRO again, able to clear their lines. And that's it. That's your full 90 plus a little bit, friends. And if you could only see the look right now on Jade's face, nobody wants this to be the situation you're forced to play into. And we're going to see it now. It's going to be penalties to decide this one. Taking a look at the match stats here, total shots on goal. CSMRO with more shots total, but the targeted shots in favor of NDC Ontario. Corners were even, but offsides 2 for NDC. You can tell the pressure that they were applying all game long.
Yeah, going into PKs, this is going to be really interesting. It's kind of the stage that is exciting to watch, but not so fun to be a part of.
So what goes on here, Jade? What are they being told other than we're going to shoot on this goal? What's the conversation that happens at center field there?
The coin toss, from what I can remember, is if you call it right, then you get to pick, whether your keeper starts a net or you get the first shot. And if I'm up there with that coin toss, I definitely want the ball first. I want to start the heat off, and I want to put that ball in the back of the net right away.
So this is for all the marbles. Really, in a situation like we've got here where it's a 4-team tournament, this decides who plays the early match or the later match. You want to be in that second game. You'll be here for it regardless.
That is correct. That is correct. And you know what? We love to see a game won in the 90 minutes that are played, but when it comes down to it, this is the keeper spotlight, right? And they get their chance to shine. So this will be really, really fun to watch.
So there's one thing we do know for sure, that Noel Henning will be in goal for NDC Ontario, and it'll be Leah Palacio-Tele in goal for CS Mont-Royal Outremont. But from there, it's your guess is as good as ours.
You got to bet that, they're sending their captain Tegan up there to take a shot. And if you're looking at some of their scores here, they want people that want to take the shot, right? If you're sending people up there because you have to, it's that confidence behind the ball looks a lot different. And I believe keepers at the highest level can feel that as well.
So we had a penalty earlier in the match towards the end of the first half. If you're Reese K, do you want to take another one? Do you want redemption, or is the pressure too much in a match of this much importance?
I have a feeling Reese K, she wants redemption. She hit that well. It's unfortunate that she just smoked the post, but I would rather go for it like she did and unfortunately create the rebound and hope we can capitalize on it rather than shoot scared. And I think she went for it, so she's going to do the same thing again.
So this is it, friends. This is do or die now. Oh, I'm getting nervous just watching myself here.
Yeah, penalty shootouts, they just have a different energy to them.
Like you said, you hate to see things settled this way, but they call it the most exciting moment in sport.
I love that the keeper's shooting first.
This is a bit of boldness here, hey? Noelle Henning.
Setting the tone high, NDC is.
It's quite a statement from the keepers, putting her hand up saying, I want to show who's boss in this scenario. Noelle Henning took her steps back and winds up and smashes one right down the middle.
Very confident in her approach. She struck it well. Keeper guessed wrong, but you know what? If I'm her right now, if I'm Noelle, I'm feeling really, really confident going into this PK shootout.
So it looks like it's going to be the wily veteran here for CSMRO to take the kick, Joëlle Gosselin. She's played professionally in Israel. She's played in Czechia. She's played in Finland. She won the Inter-Provincial Championship 2 years ago with AS Blainville, and now is her chance to step up and smash one in, and she makes no doubt about it, keeping her team in this one. It's 1-1 right now. What a fantastic response there from the veteran presence.
Yeah, make no mistake, if you've been at that spot a few times, it's you know, like eating breakfast every morning. She knows what she's doing up there.
This looks to be Sabrina Moura winding up and slots one low, and the keeper sprawled to her right but couldn't get to it in time.
Very well placed PK there. She knew what she wanted to do from the very start. Keeper guessed correctly, but such precision on that placement.
The pressure continues to mount as you go deeper into the shootout. Oh, I'm getting, like I said, I'm already nervous out here. I'm having trouble sitting still. This is the Algerian Youth International, Anaïs Oularbi. She's a very technically gifted player, very confident. We'll see if that confidence shines through, because if there's anyone else who's confident out there, it's the goalkeeper who scored on the first pen. So we'll see what Anaïs has up her sleeve, and there's that wind we were talking about creeping in and blowing the ball away.
I thought that was her approach. I didn't realize the ball moved. I'm like, she's walking slow up there. She's going to test the keeper.
Jaunty little strut.
Yeah.
Well, Robbie with a big run up here. A couple of stutter steps and smashes that one into the left side of the goal. Henning going the other way. Now, Jade, I'm going to guess you've taken about 14,545 penalty kicks in your life. Do you tend to shoot to the same spot?
I have my spot, that is for sure. There's a spot that I'm confident in, but, you know, I've been trying to be a little bit more flexible in the approach, and if the keeper sees she's going that way, I might try to change it up last minute. But
the glare I just got here about giving away industry secrets. My goodness.
You gotta keep them down low, right?
Tegan Mellenhorst stepping up, and she'll put that one to her left, the goalkeeper's right, and nobody's missed so far.
Yeah. Yeah, we might have to continue to cycle through +5, but, you know, we love to see some goals. Can't complain there.
I don't think I'm going to be able to handle it. My Garmin here is showing me that my heart's about to burst through my chest.
I was just about to say, if I had a heart rate monitor on, I'd be +100 for sure.
This is Osamid AR. She had a wonderful game this afternoon. The midfield presence. She's another one with a big run up.
You can hear a pin drop at this facility right now.
Ayar puts a ball in.
Well done.
Henning guessed right, but just too much on that ball for her to get a paw to. It'll be the substitute Donnelly stepping up. Have another substitute taking a pen here. She's going to get a word of advice, I think, from Noelle Henning. Donnelly, so calm by the looks of it. She's been a breath of fresh air here for NDC since entering the game. We'll see if she can follow through, and a save from the keeper. Palacio Tele making the dive to her left and pushing that one away from the goal line, and it's the curse of the announcer. I pumped her up a little bit too much.
Yeah, the keeper had that one read through and through.
She saw that one from start to finish and got both hands to it. I think it was in that danger zone where if you're going to put it into that spot kind of just off center, you've really got to smash it, and she just didn't put enough on it for my liking, at least.
Yeah, you do, and you know what? I'd say the height as well. If you're going to go kind of down the middle, off to the side, not fully side, you got to either choose high or choose low, and with some sauce, like you said.
You can see that wind acting up again. The ball refusing to stay in place. It's Ava Booty who's attempting to take the penalty here. We'll see if she can get this off before the wind
You take
blows.
one extra step and the ball runs away. That's a tough one.
I feel like I'm in a Three Stooges episode here, where everything's just going absolutely wrong.
You know what? For some players, they do like to just get up there, take the shot, and get out of there, right? So sometimes when that ball can't even sit still, it adds a little bit of extra pressure.
Henning taking a step back off her line as the ball rolls away again. Goodness gracious me. Booty putting the ball down for the 14th time now, it seems like. If you were in this position, would you just put it down and run at it as quick as possible?
Honestly, I would. I would just hammer it at this point. Like, this is just... She's got to be a little bit quicker knowing that there's wind, right? So it's about... You got to kind of adjust.
I'd almost do the quick free kick where you take your hand off and toe poke it immediately to catch the keeper off guard.
Yeah.
Booty stepping up, and she'll put a ball in on Henning, and Henning dove the right way again, and Mont-Royal Outremont take the lead here now in the shootout.
You know what? That's a great example of exactly what we saw right before, right? Is not fully down the side, but she struck it so well, put it low, and tucked it right underneath the keeper. Love to see that. Took her about a couple minutes, but she got it, so that's good.
Reese Kay stepping up and making up for her earlier penalty, and she put it in almost the exact same spot where she wanted it the first time.
Yeah, you know, you got to respect that. The fact that she went to the same size, struck it the same way, and she got it this time, kudos. That's not easy to do, especially given the situation.
Now all the pressure is on Noelle Henning here, as she's got to make the save. She got her team into this spot by scoring the first one, and now she's staring down number 19, Rose Hughes. And all the pressure on the 17-year-old goalkeeper. Hughes steps up and she pots it. And that's it, folks. CSMRO are off to the first place match. They made the drive down from Montreal, and they've been rewarded for all their efforts tonight. They stuck with it. They stayed in the game. They got a bit of luck. And you can see the joy on their faces now as they've been putting forth quite the effort this afternoon. NDC, you got to be disappointed for these girls, but for so many of them, this is the biggest match of their careers.
What an accomplishment, you know, to sit back, be patient throughout the entire game, and then to be able to come through in a penalty shot shootout and win it. You know what? Winners take it all, and that's exactly what they came here to do.
And in a situation like this, it is absolutely winner take all. And our winners are CSMRO, the Ligue Quebec squad. Your victors today, 1-1 your final, and a 5-4 shootout victory for CSMRO.
No, that wasn't the deal. That wasn't the other half.
The old handshake here between both these sides. We've got our Volkswagen moment of the match approaching. So many great moments to pick from. Was really impressed by the goalkeeper, Leah Palacio-Tele, the captain for CSMRO. She made several saves to keep her team in this match.
A true vital piece to their success today.
Absolutely. We're going to have our player of the match here in a moment as well. Having a look at the Mont-Royal Outremont players as they celebrate. And here's your moment of the match. It's the save by Palacio-Tele. You couldn't ask for anything more from your keeper in a situation like that.
You know what? She's had so many moments. There was, I think, 3 opportunities in the game where NDC tested her, and she was ready. She kept her team in the game all the way to the shootout at the end. And having this moment of the match where, you know, she takes her team over to the gold medal game, you can't ask for more from a senior keeper.
You really can't. Again, with the club for 14 years, their club motto is once a Griffin, always a Griffin. And we'll have a quick look here at the celebrations going on, and Palacio-Tele all smiles.
Of course, drinking in this moment, you're seeing the players dancing and celebrating on the pitch right now, and they're drinking in all the moments as they should. NDC, they put on such a great performance, unfortunately couldn't capitalize, but I think for a moment here we're going to see a player of the match.
Such a tough situation for these NDC girls to find themselves in, having to come together with only games to spare at the end of the season. And we'll have a look here at our performance of the match. It was Tegan Mellenhorst. We were talking about her all week in the lead up to this match. What did you make of her performance today, Jade?
Yeah, you know what? I think that player, she's magical with the ball at her feet. She can see things before they happen, and unfortunately, it didn't fall her way today, but she stepped up, took that PK, slotted a goal for her team. She showed resiliency. She was dangerous outside the box, but at that same time, you need players to support you, especially when you're playing against a strong side like CSMR.
What do you need to see out of this NDC Ontario squad in that third place match if they want to finish with a victory on Sunday?
You know, they dominate in possession, I would say. They created a lot of opportunities, but were they clear-cut opportunities? Not necessarily. We need to see them threaten the goal a little bit more. We need to have a little bit more of an overload around the ball, especially when we go forward. Like I mentioned to you before, they love to commit a lot of their numbers on half the pitch, and so how we can utilize that to join and create overloads in the attack is something that they should focus in on next game.
We saw CSMRO give up a lot of opportunities in this match. What do you want to see from them? How do you want to see them tighten up in their gold medal game?
Yeah, you know what? I think that they can approach the next game with the same mentality, being organized and disciplined in your role defensively. understanding that they have some snipers up top, right? And how we can best support them to be able to create those opportunities more consistently, I think is going to put them in a really good position for the gold medal game.
So we're going to be back at 8:30. You're going to be here with Alf de Blasis. We've got that game on the go. What are you hoping to hear or watch and see in that one?
Some goals, a lot of attacks, some creative play, and of course, fierce competition.
All right, folks, that's it from us here. My name is Pierce Lang, Jay Kovacevic. We want to say thank you to everyone for watching, and we'll see you later.
Yeah, I know. There's like every night for this one guy.
This ultimate mouth-watering moment is brought to you by the big, bold, ultimate taste of Ultimate Chicken Hot Dogs, only from Maple Lodge Farms.
Degree 72-hour non-stop protection. Antiperspirant with motion sense. Tested to the limit. Degree keeps working when others stop.
For a sport played with our feet, funny how lending a hand takes us further together.
Gatorade, with electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you